Hey everybody, hey YouTube, this is Wade Watches back with another film review. Today I'm going to be doing my belated E.T. the Extraterrestrial 40th Anniversary IMAX re-release review. I'm late getting this out just because of, just circumstances with life. I've started a new job and that's taken up a lot of time and it has taken some getting used to. So yeah, better late than never. So jumping right into it, as I kind of said in my initial reaction video, E.T. I only watched it in its entirety once when I was really young, and even back then I don't recall being like blown away by it. And now that I've recently seen it in IMAX and all of its digitally remastered glory, don't know if they I think there was also like a 4K Ultra release, so I imagine that they remastered it in 4K. I might be wrong about the technological specs, but it's definitely a sharper. It was definitely a sharper image in IMAX, and definitely the higher quality image of the film that they showed in the IMAX screen than when it comes on cable, I imagine. So yeah, but anyway, um many I am fully aware that many consider this to be many consider it to be Spielberg's best film. Many consider it to be one of the greatest alien films, hands down, and still many consider it to be just an all-around cinematic classic. And I'm in the minority. I don't think, in my personal opinion, it belongs to any of those categories. But that doesn't mean it's terrible. I don't think this is a bad film. I don't dislike it. Um, in fact, I actually find it to be a very sweet film. There's just nothing about E.T. the Extraterrestrial that has ever taken my breath away. Again, bearing in mind I only saw it, like I said, when I was really young, but I still remember not going like, oh my gosh, this is such a great film. It's a classic, or back then. And yeah, I'm still of the same opinion. It's fine, it's all right. you know i like I like the bond that Elliot and Et the Extraterrestrial share. I love the soundtrack by John Williams. I love Et the Extraterrestrial himself. He's simultaneously a cute and freaky looking little guy, all in one. So it's all good. There's just nothing about it that makes me go like, oh my gosh, this is like a cinematic masterpiece. But that's just me. I would attribute that to a couple of things. First, it's a much shorter film than I remember. You don't really get a whole lot of bonding between Elliot and Et before they embark on their quest to send Et back home. Yeah, by the way, light spoilers. It's a film from 1982, so I imagine a lot of you out there are familiar with the plot already. Since it's not a new release, I'm gonna talk about the plot a bit more than I usually would. Yeah, before they embark on their quest, you don't really get a lot of them just doing stuff together. There's a couple of scenes, and those scenes are really nice. I like it when Elliot is showing Et his room and his toys, and Et just starts like biting down on the toys. But I could have used more of that for sure. Also, I understand that it's supposed to be that the bond that Elliot and Et share, kind of this what's the word I'm looking for? What is it called? Kind of, it is telekinetic. Like they can read each other's minds and feelings from what I gathered from watching it. But also like they also share, like they can also like feel each other's like physical pain and whatnot. Um, could have used a bit more explanation on that. I'm not a big fan of massive exposition dumps. I always love I love the show don't tell principle, but I could have used a bit more explanation because it's something that seems to just kind of start happening, and then it just keeps happening. So yeah, there's that, and yeah, just those couple. Other than that, I don't think it's flawed. I enjoy how it's a. I also enjoy how it's a product of its time. With this though it's aimed for families and younger audiences. This was a film that came out in 1982, so the PG back then is very different than the PG now. I know the whole history behind that. I know that it was actually, I think, another Spielberg film, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, that prompted the MPAA to come up with the PG-13 rating. So yeah, this it's a very different type of PG. It's a very different type of PG rated film, and it definitely shows for a kids film. It does not hold back on the mature themes. It does not hold back on the intensity, and there's a genuine sense of danger and threat, and I dug it. I dug that. There's it's I don't really know what to say here because I don't have any like glaring complaints about ET the Extraterrestrial or all of. I feel like the things I mentioned are kind of honestly like minuscule and more nitpicks, if you will. There's nothing about it that's terrible. It's just not a film. It's just one of those great films. It's on a lot of great films lists. It's just one of those, uh, quote unquote classics that just doesn't resonate with me personally. A lot of classic films do resonate with me. A lot of classic, I do enjoy a lot of the quote unquote classics. Godfather, Goodfellas, some of my favorite films, for example. But this is just one of them that's just kind of like, oh, it's all right. It's all right. Yeah. Uh, just not a massive mega fan of E.T. the Extraterrestrial like the majority of you out there. It's it and seeing it, in an IMAX theater hasn't really changed my mind on that. Yeah, there you have it. Rate, kind of like chalking it up to my final rating. I give it a 7 out of 10. It's a good film, but just not a great one in my opinion. Yes, I know I'm in the minority, but on that, but my opinion is my opinion, and that's just how I feel about it. So yeah. So this has been Wade Watches. This has been my review of the 40th anniversary re-release of E.T. the Extraterrestrial. I understand that at the time of my recording this video, another Spielberg classic that I actually really do love and have rewatched several times, Jaws, has been re-released in IMAX. Gonna be skipping that one because I just don't see the need to rush out to see that in an IMAX theater. Yeah, that just gives you an idea of how late I am coming out with this video. They've already released another classic Spielberg film. But yeah, going back to E.T. the Extraterrestrial, I don't know. It's just not one of my all-time favorites, but it's still a good movie. Still a good movie. One of the better UFO movies out there. Not my personal favorite, but one of the better ones. So yeah, 7 out of 10 for E.T. the Extraterrestrial. See you guys next time.